Hello and welcome, friends. Welcome to another exciting unboxing episode. This time I have a great lot of writing instruments. And guys, I paid for this box because it is shipped in a box from the seller. I paid 552 lays, which means I paid 111.60 euros or 123.27 American dollars. Okay, now guys, I will try to open this box as fast as I can. So I have here my little scissors, and let's see how we can open it. Well, I presume it is in a box or some sort. And first of all, I will try to peel the address off, which is in front of it. And after that, we will try to see if I can open it. So first, let me start with this front that contains the address. Okay. Let me cut it like this, guys. Okay. So, right in front of it, we have the price, 500 lays, and the fact that I paid the transportation cost of 52 lays. So let me start to peel off this. Okay, like this, guys. Okay, it opens quite nice. Okay, this is the first part. Let me see where the other part starts. Well, I'm not so sure. Let me see if I can do a little hole right over here. I don't want to damage the box because I don't know what I have here. Whoa, it seems quite a nice box, so I don't want to damage it. Whoa, nice. This is a wooden box, guys, and I know this sign is from a cafe seller, I believe. Cafe Arabica, I'm not so sure, but this is a wooden box. Quite nice, quite a nice box. So guys, I want to thank the seller because you will see that the instruments contained in this box, in my opinion, they are much more expensive. That's only 552 lays. So I have an agreement with the seller that after I do this unboxing, I will pay him some installments depending on what we think that all the instruments are worth. So in my opinion, I think I paid half of the value, the total value, and the other sum of monies will be paid in 2 or 3 installments. So I want to thank the seller because he was kind enough to accept this situation. Guys, you must know that although I buy lots of writing instruments, in fact some of you have asked me if I buy a new pen each and every day. Well, I wish it was the case, but no, I'm not a rich collector, and this is why I try to find bargains on the market. Because guys, I sincerely can't afford to buy a new Mont Blanc or other instrument. But if you watch my channel and if you do a sum of all the writing instruments I bought in the last, let's say, 3 months, you will see that there's some can reach a new Mont Blanc on the market. So I try to buy only the writing instruments that I like, and the bargains. I think that this is a bargain. I was contacted by the seller, and he told me that he had some writing instruments. So I was right. This is from Chibo Cafe, Galapagos, Santa Cruz. This is a wooden box, and I only, yes, I have this part left, and then I will show it to you. Chibo in Hamburg, Germany. Okay, I believe that this is a collection box of some sort. Quite a nice box. You can see it has some metallic trims here, and here. This one is gone from here, but no problem. This box was free. Here we have photo and lighters. So lighters in Romanian. Let me see if I can peel this off. Yes. Well, I hope that the content isn't of lighters and it has writing instruments. And yes, guys, we have writing instruments. Okay. Let me start with the first one. So, guys, I will just tell you what this fountain pen is. I paid for the whole lot around 112 euros or 124 American dollars. So you can do the calculations. So this, guys, is a Pelicano from the 1970s or the 1980s. A beautiful German pen with a steel nib, the Pelicano, in this gorgeous red. So this is the first one. Okay, I will put it here. Let me take the next one. Yes, this is, guys, a beautiful Reform. Again, a German fountain pen. Reform Calligraph 1.1. I have this already in my collection, but it was part of the lot sent me by this seller. So we have 1.1 Italic Reform, West Germany, imprinted on the nib. Of course, this is a piston filler with a multifaceted ink window. I love this series, the Reform Calligraph. You can see the beautiful gold trims that have stood the test of time. I am sorry, guys, the sun is hitting right on my window, so I hope that yes, if I change the angle of the camera, you will see better. Okay, guys, let me take another one. This seems to be a fountain pen from the 60s or 50s. Let me give you a little zoom. And yes, this is an Artus standard. I have done reviews of the Artus fountain pen. This is, like you see, a German piston filler. And I'm curious to see what we have here. At some point, Artus was bought by Lamy. So we have a steel nib, an original Artus nib. So this is the second fountain pen that was in this lot. We continue. It appears we have some Chinese-made fountain pens. This is a Hero 332, and it has this hooded nib, and if I'm not mistaken, it has, yes, the aromatic filling mechanism similar of the Parker 51. So a Chinese Hero 332 in this dark green color. We continue with another fountain pen, yes, and it is another fountain pen made in China. And I'm not so sure of the producer of this fountain pen. Let me see how I can open it. It has a pressure fit cap, but it is quite stuck. You can see another a hooded nib and another aromatic filling mechanism. This time we have this in green with this metallic cap. I will put it aside. I will continue with this fountain pen, an interesting torpedo shaped fountain pen. Unfortunately, it was affected in time. Let me see if I can. No, it appears to be a no-name fountain pen. Let me see if we have a blind cap here or an integrated piston. It has an integrated piston, as you can see. And the nib, guys, you can see, I'm not so sure it is the original nib of this fountain pen because it's quite small, but we have a steel nib, gold plated, iridium tipped, and no name of the producer. I think that this beautiful fountain pen is from the 1950s or the 1960s. What I find interesting about it, it is this shape of the clip, like serpent or something like that. It is quite nice. Let me put this no-name fountain pen aside. And now let's move on to the next one. Whoa, this is a beautiful Monte Grappa. And judging by the way it looks, I believe that this is a fountain pen from the 1950s. Monte Grappa, as you can see, with this wonderful cap. It opens like this, and interesting, it reveals the nib. Let me see the nib. This is a warranted wing flow USA number 4. Unfortunate, we have one tine broken right here, guys. So this nib is gone in my opinion, but a wonderful fountain pen. I'm quite curious to see the filling mechanism, so I unscrew the barrel and we can see this syringe type. So you pull this and the ink goes inside. So I believe that this is a nice project for a replacement nib. I think I have a special gold nib that will go nice with this vintage Monte Grappa fountain pen. Again, also in this lot. Let me take this first, and after that I will show you also this. So I have here a beautiful celluloid one. I'm not so sure about the producer of this pen, this fountain pen. You can see it's not engraved, but a wonderful piece. Let me see the nib, because the nib is quite important in determining the producer of this beautiful fountain pen. And we have KC Seta Extra Iridium. And we have here, I believe, a blind cap. Let me see. Yes. No. This is a button filler. It isn't a piston filler. So quite an interesting pen. Maybe from the 30s or the 40s. And I say that because the button filler was quite popular in the 1930s. Quite a nice looking fountain pen. Whoa, I like this very much. So I will put this aside, guys. And another interesting pattern, this pattern like a lizard skin. Again, no name on the body or the cap of the fountain pen. And I wasn't expecting this, so maybe this is a replacement part, because It is a hooded nib, like you see here, quite strange. And I say it's a replacement part because you can see here we have a little gap. So maybe it's not specific to this pen. Let me see if we have button filler. Yes, another button filler. Quite a nice looking one, guys, as you can see. But I think that this part, the grip section and the nib itself, are replacement parts. So another wonderful, beautiful fountain pen in this lot, guys. I tell you, I am amazed of this lot. A fountain pen, probably if you watch my channel, you are familiar with this fountain pen. If I'm not mistaken, we have here a Paradiana. The end is missing, but not a problem. I have another part for it. Paradiana. The one I reviewed, if I remember correctly, had a steel nib, but that steel nib corroded in time. Let me see if this has the original nib. No, I think it is a replacement nib, judging by the way you look at the feeder and how small the nib is. But it appears to be a gold nib. Let me see what we have engraved in it. We have... Oh, strange. I never seen this one. No, this is a Palladiana. No. Oh, quite nice. I'm not so sure what is written on it, guys, but you can see that Masonic sign over there. I hope you can see it. So it is a triangle with some rays of sun, and in the middle of triangle, the eye of knowledge. Quite an interesting nib. I will definitely do a special review on this piece. So interesting, it came without the ending of the barrel, but no problem, guys. Now I can see here, I think it is a Geha. Yes, a German Geha, definitely a school fountain pen from the 1970s with this special reserve of ink here. Quite nice, and I believe that this uses ink cartridges. Yes, you can see. Quite a nice model for students or children in school with vivid colors. Quite nice. Let me put this aside and let me continue with a beautiful Shepherd fountain pen. As you can see, it is a white dot, the sign of their lifetime warranty. Indeed, we have here Scheffler, made in USA, with a beautiful nib. Unfortunately, it is not a gold nib, it is an inlaid nib, but a steel one, and I'm quite curious to see the filling mechanism. As you can see, it has a filling mechanism that resembles the aromatic filling mechanism of the Chinese-made fountain pens you saw earlier, which have their inspiration on the famous Parker 51. Unfortunately, you can see that this ink sac was corroded, so the principle is you push this rod and the sac creates pressure and it draws the ink. So definitely a fountain pen that needs its ink sac to be replaced, but a wonderful metallic Shepherd. Okay, let's put this aside, guys. I believe I have here a Chinese made fountain pen, yes, and it is a white feather. Again, you saw its review on my channel. Quite a nice ornated white feather made in China. And I think I have here the number. It's 604, guys. This should have, yes, again, a hooded nib, and I suspect an aromatic type of filling mechanism. Let me see. Yes, and on it engraved white feather. Quite nice. Quite a nice looking fountain pen from China. Again, part of this lot. So I'm sorry, guys, we have other fountain pens to see. Okay, we still have some fountain pens. This is again a Geha made in Germany. A piston filler, as you can see, but where is the turning? Again has a steel nib, gold plated, as you can see, quite a nice one. I told you it is a piston filler, but I don't know, maybe it is also a cartridge filler, although it has those ink windows. Let me see. Yes, interesting. Another cartridge filler from Geha. So I believe it's from the late 70s and early 80s when the cartridge fillers gained some marketplace. Okay, let me put this here and let us continue. I will continue with this fountain pen. It is a metallic fountain pen. Here it has an imitation of leather. It is rather nice. We have something painted on this body. We have Nino Cerruti. Well, Nino Cerruti, and we have another engraving on this fake leather, aired gas, maybe a firm. And look at the quality of this piece. So this plastic piece should always be inside of the cap, guys. And it appears that it has fallen. A nice looking nib, although we have written on it Iridium Point, Germany. Judging by the way it looks, I can tell you it is a Chinese made nib. And also the whole fountain pen, I believe it was made in China, and it is a cartridge filler as well. Quite a narrow barrel. I don't know if we can adapt some ink converters on it, but it certainly can use ink cartridges. Let's leave this aside, guys, and I believe I've reached the middle of the video. I have another, yes, a Chinese fountain pen. Engraved on the cap we have Rainbow 202, if I'm not mistaken. Again, yes, a hooded nib, quite nice. This arrow reminds me of the Parker 61. And interesting, we have again a arrow type filling mechanism. On it we have engraved made in China. Quite a nice burgundy color to this fountain pen. And I will add it to my Chinese collection. Okay guys, now let me see. I have a metallic fountain pen, a quite nice looking fountain pen. And it is another Chinese made fountain pen. On the cap, if I can show you in this lighting, yes, we have a Rainbow 201. A Rainbow 201. When we open it, we can see the hooded nib, this arrow that resembles the arrow of the Parker 61, and I believe that we have another aromatic filling mechanism, yes, and again made in China, written on it. Quite a nice metallic fountain pen, quite resistant in time. I love it. Okay, now another metallic fountain pen, and this is, yes, another Chinese made fountain pen. Engraved on it we have Golden Star 707, so this is the model. Quite nice, guys, as you can see, and lighter than the previous model. Again, this part which has this hooded nib, and if we unscrew the barrel we can see the aromatic filling mechanism, and on it, guys, on it we can see engraved Beijing, China, and this star on the lever. Quite nice. Okay, let me continue with the next fountain pen. And I have here this one. So we can see a clue here, a V and a V. If I'm not mistaken, this is the Primavera fountain pen, but I'm not so sure. We have a personalization here, Libreria Giuliani. Libreria means a bookstore, and Giuliani must be the Italian owner of that bookstore. We have a nice ink window here and an interesting nib. Let me see the nib, guys, because this is quite important. A warranted wing flow, made in USA nib, I believe a steel nib, gold plated. If we unscrew the barrel, we can see this syringe type of mechanism. So you push this rod like a syringe and you pull it out to gather as much ink as you can in that reservoir. Quite a nice looking fountain pen. Okay, let me go to the next one. And yes, I have here this one, and it has this cap. We have a personalization right here, thermically imprinted on the cap, Elac Kiel, and it is a torpedo shaped fountain pen. Let me see about it. Whoa, it has this nice decoration on the grip section. It seems like an inlaid nib, but in fact the nib is, let me see, semi-hooded or a hooded nib. Again, we unscrew the barrel, and yes, it reveals this syringe filling type of mechanism. It's quite dirty inside. I hope I can clean it. And here we have a clue about this fountain pen. It is a Condor Deluxe visible pen. Visible probably because of this ink window over here. So a Condor Deluxe, another interesting vintage fountain pen from the 1950s or the 1960s. Again, another fountain pen here, guys. Let me see what we can find out about him. Double or laminated. This is a Waterman's. Double or laminated. Interesting logo, W here. And on the cap we have engraved Waterman's. Quite a nice looking pen. And it has this hooded nib. Interesting for a Waterman. Let me see what type of filling mechanism it has. It appears it has also a cartridge filling mechanism. So a fountain pen from the 1960s or the 1970s. Quite nice. Okay, let me put this aside. And now let's take this fountain pen, a quite nice looking fountain pen. We have here engraved on the barrel Hurricane Argentus, and again the same beautiful decoration on the grip section and the hooded nib, this transparent ink window, and I believe we have, yes, another syringe type. I believe we have a crack here. I'm not so sure it's a crack, but we will test it. I hope it won't leak. Another beautiful fountain pen. Now, guys, we are down to the last pieces. Here I'm not so sure what we have. Maybe a zoom will be in order. So we have here Turkey. Yes, a fountain pen from Turkey. Okay. A metallic fountain pen, quite an elegant fountain pen. I'm not so sure it was made in Turkey, Judging by the feed, I think it was made in China. And interesting, we have this nib. We have 22 karat GP, so 22 karat gold plated nib. Quite interesting nib, two colored nib. And now I'm curious to see if I open the barrel what. Whoa, we have a cartridge filler and quite an interesting fountain pen. Maybe I will find more information about it. I believe it was made in China, but who knows, maybe it was made in Turkey. Okay, I have a clue here, guys. Maybe you can help me. If you recognize this logo, it could be a Chinese logo. You can see it right over here. Maybe you recognize this logo at the end of the clip. Okay, guys, now let's move on. Let's move on to another fountain pen. We have interesting, this fountain pen has an interesting clip, guys, and I hope I can show it to you. So on it we have engraved trademark 1957 original pen. Here we have Chevignon, a French city, I'm not so sure. Here we have Chevignon iridium point, quite a nice looking nib, and the barrel and screws. I'm quite curious to see what type of feeding mechanism does it have. I think it is a cartridge filler, but you can see that I'm trying to open it and I can't. Oh yes, now I can. I've managed to unscrew it, and it is in fact a simple cartridge filler as I presumed. I'm not so sure about it, maybe I can find details on the internet. It's interesting, this Chevignon fountain pen, quite a nice looking fountain pen. And now I have here a box, let me open it. It is a box of a Parker. And what do we have here, guys? We have here first a beautiful mechanical pencil. I believe that this is an Italian pencil. And right here we have engraved Columbus. And yes, if you watch my channel, you will see the history of the Italian Columbus producer, manufacturer of writing instruments. This is a quite small mechanical pencil. I will leave it right over here. Another beautiful mechanical pencil, maybe made in USA, I'm not so sure, but we will find out in a second. It has something missing from this part. Is a wall ever sharp, guys. Silver plated, made in USA. Quite a nice mechanical pencil. As you can see this system over here, I'm sorry, I will show it to you, so we will put it back. Okay, another beautiful one. Again, it has some part missing from it here. A shame that we have that part missing. This is a silver one, and we have here 925. A nicely ornated mechanical pencil, guys. Okay, let me put this aside. And the last item included in this Parker box, quite a nice box. It is, yes, a Parker fountain pen. It is in this beautiful coral. The only problems with it, you can see the ending of the cap is not in such a great form. And another problem, you can see this beautiful Parker Duofold 14 karat pen D. It has these times overlapping each other, so we'll see how it writes. I believe that this is a button filler from the 1930s with a blind cap, and I was right. We have a button filler, quite a nice one, and although it has those cracks, this is a nice looking fountain pen. Okay, guys, now we are down to the last ones, and they were wrapped again in this paper. Let me see how I can reach them. Again, I have to peel this off, so bear with me, guys. I hope that this video will last not such a long period of time. I hope I didn't bore you with my last acquisitions. Okay, I will just take it out of this protective sleeve. And what do we have here, guys? We have a really old deep pen. It has this, I don't know if you can see, this is made out of wood, and it has this brown patina on it, nothing engraved on it, and nothing engraved on the steel nib. That is rather corroded. Quite a nice piece. Okay, guys, and now the last piece of this let's say lot, we have this fountain, this desk pen. An interesting nib, only warranted written on it, so no 14 carats, and I believe that this isn't a gold nib. It's a simple steel nib, gold plated. Again, it needs some work. You can see it was bent over there. This is a beautiful celluloid. You can see on it a nice looking celluloid. No engravings. A shame we don't have engravings on it. I am not so sure if this is a piston filler or it was let me see, or it is a Frankenpen. Here I hope that you can see we have hard rubber with this brown patina in time. But interesting, the ending of it, it is made out of plastic, and I know that for a fact because we have this black material unaffected by the passing of the time. So in general, if we had here hard rubber, this part should be also hard rubber, guys. So maybe this is a Frankenpen. Maybe originally it was a button filler. This is why I tried to unscrew it. If we could see the ending. But a beautiful celluloid, guys. So this is the last part that the seller bought me, included in this pack. So those guys are the fountain pens, and not only fountain pens, but you saw also mechanical pencils. So again, I bought this lot relatively cheap, guys, at 552 lays, so 111.60 euros or 123.27 American dollars. But I will probably pay 2 installments of 250 lays. I will see how I can negotiate with the seller, because it is really a nice gentleman, and I think that I will do business with him in the future because it has some interesting writing instruments, and curious enough, I don't have them in my collection. So thank you for your time, guys. This was my latest unboxing. In the next period of time, you won't see so many unboxings on my channel. I'm passing through a quite difficult financial time, but I hope I will survive, and I will deliver you new and exciting content, guys. Thank you for your time. If you've enjoyed this large unboxing, please support my activity by subscribing to the channel The Pen Collector. Again, I want to thank you for your time. Please stay safe in this pandemic. God bless you all. Bye bye.